Yeah, absolutely. No, we've run this play once before.
And yeah, walk me through it
It's
too.
basically a guaranteed touchdown every single time. So you put all your receivers out here. Quarterback, halfback, and I don't know, receiver, tight end, and yeah, we're fine. All these guys, all the line, sprints to the left. This guy, tight end, comes 3 steps, works out. Halfback rolls out, runs a wheel. Fullback comes across, quarterback rolls out. It's a reverse left tackle screen. Throws it to him, all the linemen block.
2 points. Thanks, man. Appreciate
One
it.
more
no
quick
problem.
fun question for you. When you have a cheat meal, like you're going out for fun with buddies in Ann Arbor,
Yeah.
what's your go-to restaurant and what's your go-to meal?
That's tough. There's too many to have a few of those.
That's a good problem to have, isn't it?
That's good. Mr. Spots is an all-time
Yeah.
classic if you're an Ann Arbor guy.
And why is that for you?
It's just Philly cheesesteaks and milkshakes and everything. It's a fat guy's dream, is really what it is. It's like wings, cheesesteaks, shakes, burgers, chicken sandwiches, everything. So you can go there and spend some money and you'll enjoy it. So
Perfect.
that's
Thanks.
probably mine.
Thanks, man.
Did all of you get the Rose Bowl things? In your
Yeah.
coats? What is
Yeah.
it? What was that about?
Just the lady who's taking over the Tournament of Roses came around and handed us each one. So
Got it. Because Jim had
everybody
one
won.
on too. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think everybody's wearing them today.
Okay. Gotcha. Start with expectations. I mean, you guys they're always high with you
Yeah.
guys, but this year it seems like a little bit higher in terms of
Yeah,
some
it feels
people-
like that, huh?
How's it feel
From
how's-
you guys.
What about you?
No, for us it's the same. We're trying to just focus on ourselves. We know what we can achieve. We know how good we are and how good we could be. Our motto for the summer is just to win the day, and whatever that takes to just get better that single day. Not worry about what's going on in the future. Not worry about games down the road or even a practice in a week. Just whatever we're working on at the moment. Put all our attention into that and go from there.
That has to make you guys feel good, though. Pick to win the Big Ten and potentially get in the playoff. And I mean, is it almost like,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's an honor to be. It's it's a nice thing that happens to you, but it's July and Big Ten championship's not till December. There's a lot of things that can go well, a lot of things that can go wrong for you in between there. So, you got to handle your business in the middle.
How much does it help to kind of go into a season like this, though, considering that this time last year, you and the other offensive linemen were talking about, like, we just want to go out there and prove that we aren't what we were the year before. So going in with a level of confidence that you had as a unit, how much does that help kind of set the tone for a year like this?
Yeah, it's different. Like you said, last year we were trying to prove what we weren't, and this year we're trying to prove what we are. We're trying to be the heart and soul of this team, the position group everybody can rely on, bring back those Michigan offensive lines of old, kind of bring that stance back. So that's what we're working on now. We returned 4 guys. Andrew Stuber started a few games for us at the end of the year. Jalen Mayfield played a lot of significant reps. Those two have been going at it all spring. We've got guys there. We've got a lot of depth, and we've got the players to really be a special group this year, and that's what we're working for.
Is that depth? It seems you guys haven't had depth like this in a while. It seems like it's something you really do have.
First time in my
10,
time
12
here.
guys, yeah.
First time in my time here that we've had this kind of depth. So it's exciting. It's really it's a privilege, and it's a luxury to have.
You notice that in spring ball or whatever when
Yeah.
you're taking your rep off and other guys come in at the level is
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when the second string guys and third string guys come in, like the intensity is not dropping down at all. It's still great to watch, and they do a great job out there.
So it sounds like you're hyping the offensive line, but we're not, media can't hype Michigan in the preseason. I mean, you said it's July. And
Well, I'm just saying, you guys set that hype. So
I know, but
if you
you're
want to
hyping
ask
the
about the hype,
offensive
it's
line.
you guys that are
you're
doing
hyping
it.
the offensive line, so you're
What do
saying
you-
that we can't. make these judgments, but you can,
Yeah.
because you feel.
Yeah. 'Cause, I see it every day. I know what we can do, and I'm excited about it.
So is the preseason hype wrong in your opinion? I mean, do you think?
No, that's where I'd put us there. I'm just saying that it doesn't matter for us. I don't really. I don't go online and read the stuff. I know some guys on the team might. Actually, I'm sure some of the guys do, but some guys like to buy in all the hype. I've always been opposite. It's different guys do different things. I just feel like overall as a team, it's better if we just focus on ourselves.
Why would you put Michigan there? What is it about this team that you put Michigan where
I
everybody?
just feel like with the experience we have, and the guys, the talent that we have, the experience we have coming back, and just the way that I've seen these guys work, day in day out since January. I've seen the teams that it takes to win the Big Ten, and I think that we can be one of those teams.
What's your new offensive coordinator, Josh Gaddis, been like so far?
He's made a huge difference for us. His offense is obviously a new look for us, something to get adjusted to, but he holds us to an incredibly high standard, and he knows that every single day that you're not going to get off easy if something's not perfect. So he makes us be perfect, and it really pays dividends. We've made a lot of improvements throughout the spring, going into the summer.
Did you notice in practice the tempo was quicker? Like when you guys
Absolutely.
go plays faster?
Yeah, absolutely. Probably cut that in half. Just really we're trying to move the ball quickly.
That offensive line depth you just spoke of, what do you contribute to that? Why is it there now compared to maybe not a year or two ago?
I think we just had, Coach Warner's done a great job developing guys. Really, it's just like getting the Harbaugh guys in, and Coach Harbaugh and Coach Warner have done a great job recruiting guys and getting people in here. Honestly, I think part of it was just that our numbers were low in years past. This year we have, I think, like 20 to 25 linemen. It's outrageous, but I love it. It's the most we've ever had. There's just a combination of things. Part of it's that, part of it's the development of them, but we've got some guys that really can play well.
Have you noticed that with those young guys coming in, obviously you were a young guy who played right away, but a lot of the young guys that have come in past you, since you, are also athletic. They're not maybe big guys or athletes and on their body. Have you noticed that sort of trend?
Yeah, I think we got a good trend of both, especially with this past recruiting class. You've got some stockier guys, the Rumblers, Carpenters of the world, and then you got some tall athletes with like Trente Jones, Jack Stewart, and Jordan Keegan, guys like that. I think there's a happy medium in there now.
What has been your early impressions of them since they arrived?
I love them. I think this is a very hardworking class of O-linemen. They show up every day, don't complain, don't do anything to embarrass the room. Like I said, they're hardworking. They're always bugging people to watch film with them, teach them stuff, work with them after practice. So they do an outstanding job, and they're making a lot of strides.
Have you seen that type of mentality change too as the recruiting classes have come along?
I think so. I think as years have gone on, we've made a lot of strides in mainly like our summer workouts and stuff. This year was the best I've ever seen. It's just been extremely diligent, almost religious at times, just making sure that everybody is doing their summer, making sure that everyone's still doing well with their offensive line footwork and stuff, and just working together to get to be the best offensive line we can be. We did that day in and day out, and it's really been exciting to be a part of.
I think it's made about not a lot of experience at running back, but you guys up front take more on your shoulders and say that, we're all back. We can make it a little easier on those guys as they learn.
Yeah, I think that's a goal of ours. We know that we don't have the most experienced running backs in the country, but if we do enough, then it really should be fine. We want to make it simple enough that anybody can run through the hole.
Harbaugh said Charbonnet is in the weight room all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen from him?
Yeah, he's looking great. He had injury throughout spring ball, but now that he's come back, he's been working really hard, really busting his butt to get back. And now that he is, he's been doing really well, doing a lot of great things. and I've seen him, make a lot of big strides. And he looks great. Haven't seen him play yet, obviously, but looking forward to do that in August.
The offense as a whole, like the last couple of years, we've seen the defense kind of act like, in a sense of like we've got the swag, we kind of, we are the identity of this team. Offense was trying to find its way.
Yeah.
How much now do you guys approach it kind of the way the defense had, considering you do have so much return?
Yeah, I think we're going to have, there's going to be times that we lean on defense, there's going to be times the defense leans on us. And that's what we want. Earlier on, there were times I felt like when the defense needed us, we weren't able to be there for them, earlier on in my career. And now, that's something that I never wanted to have happen again. And I think that this season, we're going to have a good balance, even if the defense is a little young. Even if sometimes they may need to get bailed out. It happens every year. That's fine. We want to be that. We want to be that consistent force on offense that can take over a game whenever.
You got to live through a championship run with your brother, sort of baseball. I know it's a different season length and everything,
Yeah.
but did you pick up something about how a team stays consistent and rolls in the momentum?
Yeah. I mean, they just had a blast with it every single day. I mean, I've never seen a team enjoy a run more than the baseball team did. Just like soaking in every experience Omaha had to offer, from their their regionals out in Oregon State and UCLA to when they finally got there. They just really soaked everything in they could and tried to just stay loose and have fun. I think that's a great way to approach postseasons, and something I'm going to try to implement with myself more is not to be so uptight about everything, just kind of relax and enjoy the moment more, and hopefully that eases some guys up and pays dividends later on.
Generally uptight?
I can be. I notice I can be. So
You might have just answered. Were you able to get off to some of the games?
yeah, I caught the last two, though ironically the two that lost.
Sure, Coach Vakic doesn't want to see you back.
That's what I said too. I said that right away. But no, I was able to get out there and see those guys play the last two games, and it was awesome.
I feel like the offensive line's job gets harder in a system where there's no huddling, less fullbacks, less tight ends, and how do you approach that?
I think so, yeah. I think there's different ways to look at it. Obviously with the less time in between plays, the up-tempo, it can be harder on offensive linemen. But also, if you get a 7-8 play drive going on a defense, the offensive line tends to be able to go longer than the defensive line, so that only benefits us later on. However, there are different challenges, especially with the offense that we have now with so many different options going out of it. You need to be able to adjust on the fly and kind of make your calls faster, have a better knowledge of the offense.
Kind of going off that, Jim has said that he's thought about this as a possibility of playing Shea and Dylan in games.
Mm-hmm.
Do you envision that as a possibility? Just the way
I mean, it's definitely possible. They're both very qualified, very able to go. Dylan's an outstanding quarterback and would do well in any situation. So whether whoever's back there, both of them, one of them, doesn't matter for us. Our job really remains the same. But they're both absolutely qualified, and I would trust either one of them out there with the ball.
Ben, what's it like to, instead of having Ben Mason behind you, have him now on the other side of the line in front of you?
Yeah, it took a little bit to get used to seeing him in a different colored jersey during practice, but he had some growing pains over there, but he really came along throughout spring, and he had a great spring, and he's a very strong kid. He's kind of grown into his defensive line body, putting I think 20 more pounds on. But he's doing really well. He's doing really well in D-line.
Coach Harbaugh was talking about getting over the hump.
Yeah.
How rather than running from it, you guys are embracing it.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it speaks for itself with the last 3 years. Us falling short against Ohio State and the bowl game. So it's just kind of, for me, it's always been that finishing idea. Finishing the season off. I think that's the biggest thing that we need to focus on, and I think that's the hump that Coach is referring to. And we know that it's not an unknown stat that's happened to us the last 3 years. Everybody's very aware of it. So something we're addressing and trying to make sure it never happens again.
Then he also talked about that this team is like embracing the suck with that Ohio State game in particular. How are you guys doing that? Like, what specifically are you guys embracing?
Yeah, I mean, it's embarrassing when you lose in a fashion like that. Something that really never should happen at Michigan, but it happened to us. So we are just, you have to live with it now for a year until you get to play them again at the end of November. And we're just making sure that never happens again. And with embracing the suck, I mean, we just lost to him again. So there's really nothing else that needs to be said about that one.
The amount of transition they're going through over there, new coach, new quarterback, a bunch of new guys on the coaching staff. Do you guys kind of see an opening this year? Do you guys kind of, I guess, break that losing streak?
I wouldn't put it that way. I had a question like this earlier on. I don't think it really matters, what coaches are on either side of the ball on either team. The Michigan-Ohio State rivalry is always going to be a huge game, and it's something that is very special, and I believe it's always going to be a hard-fought battle every single time. So, I don't think it necessarily means an opening. I don't think we really need a shot like that, with a new coach or anything like that. But I think it's looking at the team that we have this year, the team that we're bringing to the table. I think it's going to be a very hard team to beat.
Is there anything you guys personally are doing differently in the off season to prioritize that game and make sure that when you get to that end of November, you're in the best possible position to have a chance to win that game?
Yeah, and it's on our minds every single day. We know who's the schedule. We know who's on our schedule, and we know who's especially at the end of our schedule. So, some things stay in house, but no, we know when we play Ohio State, and we know what it's going to take to beat them. We've seen them. This will be my fourth time around playing in that game, so we know what we need to do. And yeah, there's things that we do that remind us of that every single day. But like I said before, we try not to get overextended with it. I think that's a mistake that we've made in the past, is looking ahead to things, and we're just trying to win every single day and focus on ourselves. And if we do that, then we're going to be a tough team to beat come the end of November.
I know that Greg Madison was one of your recruiters to Michigan. Just what's your relationship like with him, and kind of what's it like to see him go to Ohio State?
Yeah, he was very, very special to me. He and I started talking my sophomore year in high school, and he really recruited me to Michigan. He's a great man. He's helped me in more ways than I know. I talked about this one a couple months ago with you guys. So like I said, I'm never going to say anything bad about Coach Madison, but it does suck to see him leave, and it does hurt. But I'll never say anything bad about him because he's done so much for me that not many people really know. So. But like I said before, yeah, I do want to beat him at the end of November.
And Coach Harbaugh, he had the hat on. I've been here for both days.
Yeah.
None of the other coaches had their hat on, okay?
Yeah.
Coach Harbaugh had the Michigan hat on. What's it like playing for Coach Harbaugh with that intensity? Sorry to be up so close to the malt boxes.
You're fine. No worries. Yeah, it's an experience every single day. You know what you're getting, but it can be, but it still is unexpected. He'll hit you with a line or something like that out of left field that you won't know. But he's an intense guy. Does an outstanding job coaching. I love playing for him. Love the man, and it's something that's I'm very proud to say that I was able to play for him.
Follow-up question. I talked to him about the assistant coaches, and he actually went on about 10 minutes about the assistant coaches.
Yep.
Just loves them, loves the players, assistant coaches. What's it like for you? Because you're not interacting with the head coach all the time, and you talk about coaches leaving and stuff, but what's it like for you to have these assistant coaches working with you all throughout your career?
Yeah, it's very special. Having Coach Warner, the journey that he and I have had together in our lives. It's just been it's come full circle now with him here at Michigan, coaching me. But no, it's phenomenal in the offensive line room. With all the talent that we have in the coaching end, and just looking around the building, we have Coach Zordich, and defense, Coach Brown obviously speaks for himself. Coach knew all the defensive coaches, all the offensive coaches that we have. There's just so much talent in the coaching areas at Michigan that and it's credit to Coach Harbaugh for bringing everybody in. But yeah, you learn something new from each and every one of them. You know, I don't play defensive back. I never will play defensive back, but I've still learned a lot from Coach Z. Just chopping it up, talking just about life, what his life was like in the NFL, what his life was like in Penn State, things like that. You know, it's just the relationships that you get with these guys. It's you can't measure that.
What has Shea's demeanor been like this summer?
Yeah, he's been. He's been in control. You know, he's taken over and he's doing a really good job. He's being a lot more assertive, so it's good to see.
In what way? More assertive?
Just be more. I guess I would say acting like the starting quarterback a little bit more. Acting like he ran the team last year, a little bit more than last year. It's been great to see. He's done a great job, and the entire team respects him and is going to function no matter what.
Do you think that's a function of being maybe more comfortable with this?
I think it was. I think it's not only that. I think it's being more comfortable around the guy. It's not being the new guy. You know, having him be there for a while.
Ben, are you?
It's not turning green.
Ben, are you guys really going whole hog into the RPOs and then experience the install?
Yeah. It's different. It's definitely different than what we've been doing before. I love it though. I really do. As an offensive lineman, I was very skeptical, at first of what was going on, but I've fallen fully into this. I love Coach Gaddis' offense. I love the way it works. I love the way you can get playmakers the ball at any given play, no matter what's called. So I'm fully on board with this. I think I speak for the entire O-line and offense when I say that we're all behind them. So
you guys haven't lined up, according to one analytic, you guys haven't lined up at 4 wide since 2017. We expect to see some more of that this year.
I'm sure you will. That's a new stat to me. I didn't know that one, but I'm sure that's going to happen at some point.
And why were you skeptical at first?
I just didn't know, because the people that we had, I didn't know how a spread was going to work. Obviously, it was fully into it. I had ran the version of this in high school, but that doesn't really matter. But I just didn't know how everything was going to fit at first, and then going through spring ball, the personnel that we have fits this offense perfectly, and it's ideal. And we really run it at an elite level so far throughout spring, and I think it's only going to get better through the summer and into August.
How much did Ed Warner, having that 1 year with him in his zone concepts, how much did that kind of help ease that transition into guys' stuff?
It helped a lot, having that jump start on it. We really didn't have to change a whole lot in the offensive line room. We had obviously new play names and different calls and stuff, but the basics and the fundamentals were also the same, so that was a big jump for us.
Ben, I know it's not directly related